welcome to Culture Cult, where we are one podcast with 195 countries to explore stories, history, and music from. I'm your host, Marie, and this week we are doing travel stories. So that means every other week I'll be interchanging between diving into a country or reading out your travel stories and talking about even mine. So this gives you more time to do more in-depth research on these countries and discover greater content for you. So today is a new guest. You'll have not met her. Her name is Megan Magumi. She's been my best friend for years. Hello. She's here.
I'm here. Megan is also my favorite. That's courtesy of our friend Irvin.
Yeah, I like Megan.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I love it. Yes. So how long have we been friends?
4 years.
4 years.
Exactly 4 years.
Wait, exactly?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's a whole college.
That's a whole college. Yeah.
People get a degree of like science for as long as our friendship has been.
I know. 4 years. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, October 15th is the friendiversary for
That's when we all met in Venice that one day where we all met. And I would love to hear y'all's stories about your friendships and how they built and anything like that. Today, we're actually going to be diving into a story that we experienced together. Call it a ghost story. Call it another fate story. It was so strange. Mm-hmm. It's our Big Sur story.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what Big Sur is, look up a picture right now.
Yes.
It is absolutely beautiful. It is between LA and San Francisco, and it is cliffy. LA is pretty flat, and all of a sudden it suddenly gets cliffy. Mm-hmm. And you have the beautiful fields rolling into the redwood forest, rolling into these cliffs, rolling into massive waves crashing against rocks and moodiness. And
moody, yeah, that's the word for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What color do you think it is?
Red.
It's so what?
Red to me. Yeah.
Why?
Because everything about it is the elements in just their wildest state.
Yes. I truly feels like you're finally in a wild place. If you ever go anywhere in California, I just highly recommend somehow getting a car or something and going there. Mm-hmm. For me, the color is, I feel like this sounds so basic, but dark green. Mm. I know because there's trees.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not that.
For those of you at home, we always ask each other what a place or a moment in time, what anything. Color it is. When you close your eyes, what color comes to mind?
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So to set the scene, we had just gone on a beautiful hike at Pfeiffer National Park. We were walking in this beautiful redwood forest with this crystal clear creek with these colorful rocks. And it was an Adam and Eve situation. I mean, like there's these beautiful rocks and I wanted them. And there were signs throughout the park from little children's creepy handwriting that wrote, "Please don't take our rocks." But I was like, fuck you. I love it. I love my rocks. Fuck these kids. I was like, I gotta have this rock. So I took the rock. I didn't tell anyone. And so then head back to the town. And we're going to go to Carmel, which is this beautiful little ritzy town, like about 45 minutes away, you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's 45 minutes of windy roads. If you've seen a car commercial in America, you've seen Big Sur's roads. Mm-hmm. If you see a car winding down a cliff, that's Big Sur. Mm-hmm. So yes, we start to head back, and if you want to tell this part.
We were driving my car, my Outback Subaru for the Subi crew.
Give a peace sign. She's like, rap.
And Chris was driving, and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and I was kind of dozing off. Everyone in the back at the beginning of the ride, we were all having a good time, but then like we kind of started dozing off a bit. And we came to the intersection at the very base of that long windy road where it starts to hit Carmel and Monterey. And we're at a stop, and suddenly my head's against the passenger window and someone knocks on my window. Yeah. And the chills that went through my body, still to this day, like I haven't felt chills like that because if you know this place that I'm talking about, it's like, where the fuck would a person come from? First of all, it's just fields next to me. And so I suddenly turn around and I look and I see this old woman. Her eyes are dead. Yeah. They're dead. And I roll down the window. I was like, hi. And this lady, she just has this monotone voice and she says, "Your trunk's wide open and your stuff is all down the street, like from Big Sur." And everyone in the car kind of woke up suddenly, and we just looked at each other and we're like, what the fuck? First of all, how did no one notice that the trunk is wide open?
She has she has a car that tells you when the trunk's open.
Yeah. And in the back seat, you totally would have felt that breeze coming through. There's just so many factors that didn't add up. And so we were all really frazzled for a sec. And I looked back and the lady's gone. And there's no ranger car behind us or anywhere in our vicinity because she was a ranger. Mm-hmm. And there was nowhere she could have possibly gone. And I was like, did I just see a ghost? And it's weird because when people talk about their ghost experiences, they know for sure. Like you've had one, you know for sure. My mom has had plenty.
Yeah.
Like we could do a whole
Yeah,
episode
she's from
on
Japan,
that.
so it's pretty haunted.
But I still, to this, I cannot say what it was. Like I don't have that confidence. Like, no, that was a ghost. Like
it's just that feeling of that wasn't right.
Yeah,
like,
it was just very strange. And so anyway, I just remember the light turned green. I was like, Chris, you have to drive, go. And so he makes a very hard left turn. We have these huge bottles of liquor in the back because we always
shout out to Costco.
Shout out to Costco. I think we had this like huge handle of tequila and some rum, and we're alcoholics. It's fine. But they broke. It just gets more and more chaotic. So we pull over. We just woke up, first of all, and we're all very, very like dazed and confused. And we clean up the liquor as best as we can. We realize like all the stuff that's gone. I think most of it was your stuff.
Yep.
Because your stuff was closest to the door.
I did not have my keys to my house. I did not have my camera.
Yeah.
I didn't have shit.
So it was bad. We were freaking out. We were like, well, what the fuck do we do? Because I mean, that's a long ass drive to do over again. So, and so we were like, okay, if we drive back up, that's another 45 minutes one way and then 45 minutes the other way.
Yeah.
Who knows if we'll find anything along the way. So we're just like, okay, fuck, I guess we just got to do it. We don't have a choice. It was just one of those things that you just so don't want to do. We were exhausted. No one was happy to say the least. And so Chris, we shut the trunk, we clean up the alcohol. It still really, really smells like liquor in the car. And we drive back up, trunk closed this time. So we're driving up and we get halfway up the mountain, 3/4 of the way. We see nothing. Yeah. Absolutely
no
nothing. Debris. We're like, there's no hope. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, well.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to get new car keys, new house keys, new camera, new clothes.
Yeah.
If it's just, you have to start like thinking like that. Sometimes when you're traveling and I have to accept the bad. You have to move on.
Yeah. The collateral damage. And we get closer to Pfeiffer where we were camping the night before. And as we get to the entrance of the park, we see everything, literally everything that had fallen out of the trunk perfectly hung up on the fence outside of the park.
Yes.
And to this day, I don't know who the fuck or what.
I'm so confused.
That day.
I totally see humans being like, oh, this is someone's stuff. I'll put it against a fence.
Yeah.
But I think the main questions are what's going on with the trunk? How did we leave with the trunk open and not be warning us? If we were driving down the road and our trunk was open, I hope the person behind us be honking.
Yeah.
But no one honked us for 45 minutes saying, hey, your trunk is open. There's stuff flying out. There's no debris. Did you drive off so quickly that 2 bags just fell out?
Honestly, that's probably what happened because it was Chris that drove. So probably.
Sorry for I just yelled at the microphone. It's like when she said that, I just imagine Chris driving. I just broke character. Yeah. So I can see that. Oh, wait, before I even get into this, when we got back, I immediately sensed that I caused the problem for this whole shebango. And so I was like, I'm going to put this rock back. So I walked back and I put the rock back and my OCD felt better. My Christian guilt conscious from childhood felt better. Everyone felt better. Because I seriously think I caused that. Because these little children spent their time to write these little letters about these damn rocks,
Yeah, it was this little rock ghost.
And here's another reason why I think this is a spiritual experience. Because I don't know if you've seen the show Dead to Me, but this girl, sorry if I'm spoiling stuff, but she believes she's cursed because her and her boyfriend took a rock from a national park.
Oh, what?
She not get
that could have been you.
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they mentioned it in the show, and I was like, oh my god,
Marie, that's literally you.
I know. That's why I was like, oh my god, this isn't just something that's in my head. Like they wrote it in a show.
Is that the show that's set around there too?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But they took it from not that park.
Okay.
They took it from a desert, and that only affirmed that nature is spiritual. If there's signs, just follow the signs. And it's more like if you feel how spiritual and how deep the energy is, don't mess with it. There's so many places that are so over touristy. They lose, no offense to the Grand Canyon, but you lose the sense of the Grand Canyon because it's become a Disneyland. So I feel like taking a rock there doesn't feel as serious.
Yeah, but that's just a drop in the ocean,
Yes.
Yeah.
But Big Sur, you can feel Mother Earth. And I still don't understand how that woman let's say she happened to have the car behind us. There wasn't a ranger car behind us. Let's say she did. How in the hell did she pop out of the front seat, walk behind your car, get to the passenger seat? Because I remember you stopped. Right when you stopped, she was at the car.
Yeah.
And if you're a ranger, you have lights. Why didn't you pull us over? Why didn't you have your lights on for 45 minutes? And the car behind us wasn't a ranger car.
None of it adds up.
Yeah.
Literally none of it.
And that's why I don't doubt people's ghost story, because it's like, if you weren't there, you have nothing to say. I don't know what that was. We can say, oh, ghost or not. Yeah. I just highly recommend Big Sur. I highly recommend do not take a rock.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's our little ghost story. I seriously love ghost stories. Please send them in, especially if you travel ghost stories.
And it's spooky season.
Yeah. Because I haven't really experienced other travel ghost stories, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay. There was one weird instance when I was in Austria. When I got there, again, the weird feeling. We get to Austria. My first time ever in Europe, and I'm not used to these hotels. They're very antique and beautiful and full of gold. And we get our room. My room is at the very, very, very end of a hallway, which obviously you've seen all the horror movies like The Shining. Like, you don't want to be at the end of a hallway. And our door just happens to not have a number. And we had to ask and be like, is this our room? And they're like, yes. And I was like, oh, okay. So we get in, and I just got a weird feeling. I was like, ugh, I feel a little bit icky. But it was fine. We had a good time, but it was strange. In the middle of the night, both the faucet and the bathtub turned on.
Ew. Oh my
the
God.
faucet and the bathtub. It also makes it worse because it's a European apartment, so you're very close to everything. So that ghost was 2 feet from me.
That is
like,
so fucking freaky.
Especially
You've
like
never
my
told me
first
this.
night. Well, it's my first night in Austria or in Europe.
Were
like,
you with someone in the
yes.
house? Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. If not,
I would jump out the window.
Yeah, same.
I would rather jump out the window. I don't even know who I was staying with. It was like one of those like tours where you're like, you don't know who you're going with.
Yeah.
Anyway, me and her were both like yelling at each other. We're like, you turn it off. She's like, no, you turn it off. Like, bitch, turn it off. Like, the water's still going, so the tension's building. Yeah. I don't remember who turned it off. I wish I could be like, yeah, I turned it off. But I swear to God, I probably didn't. I probably was like crying. Yeah. It wasn't a leaky faucet. Yeah. Have you had any when you're in Japan or anything?
No, every time I go to Japan, I think I expected too much. Like, I want it too much. I'm like that desperate hoe.
Yeah, the ghosts are like rolling their eyes.
Yeah, like, they're like, no,
another tourist.
Yeah. But no, so my family is from a very, very ancient, old town. Very few people live there anymore. When I go back, I probably will never actually return to that town because no one lives there anymore.
Oh, what? But, it's becoming actually a ghost town?
Yeah. No, it's called Kamebuchi. It's in the Yamagata Prefecture of Japan. It's very far up north, but no one in the family lives in that house anymore.
It's because the industry is moving to the city? What's going on?
Well, that, but also it's just all the young people have left. It's just one of those towns. And it is so beautiful, and I can't even find it when I Google it because it's that tiny. My memories of it are so pure and beautiful, but also I just remember like my uncles there loved to mess with me when I was a little kid because I was such a little scary cat. I love scary things until I'm there. During Halloween, I will hype up going to a haunted house, and then I get there and I'm like, fuck what I do. But that was me in Japan too, and so my uncle would be like, do you want me to lock you in the attic?
Shut up.
No. And I'd be like, yeah, no, back. And then he did it. And I was like, oh my God, what just happened? Like, it's just that feeling of like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if you have ever seen Totoro,
yes.
And you know how like May has that sense, of
Wait, can you explain the Totoro real quick for people?
Yeah. So the Studio Ghibli Miyazaki film Totoro is about these two sisters named May and I think Satsumi, who move into a new house with their father. And it's in a very similar part of Japan, actually, very countryside, very, very rural, in the middle of the woods. And these two girls, they start seeing these forest creatures at night. Or actually, no, it's during the day when the little girl first sees them. And because the older sister is a little more jaded at this point, she doesn't see them right away either. But May is like, no, I swear to God, there's little Totoros living in the forest. And they're these fucking cute little woodland creatures. I think Miyazaki said they were, in his head, they were a mix of cats, rabbits, and like mice, maybe? I don't know. But they're just the cutest little creatures. They're
really,
round.
They're really cute.
Yeah. But anyway, these creatures are the forest spirits, and they're just very, very nice spirits. And I think the actual story of Totoro is much, much grimmer, but they just kind of,
So it
cute
had
it over.
an older story before.
Yes, yeah. And that's something that I should look up again because I remember Irvin telling me about this. Irvin is our friend who he's not Asian at all, but he's
an honorary Asian.
He's an honorary Asian.
Sometimes I literally
knows, like,
think he's Asian.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I would have a picture, I'm like, oh yeah, he's Asian. I'm like, no, he's not.
No, he's not. Yeah, he just loves Asia. And it's awesome because I learned a lot through him. But yeah, no, watch Totoro and Spirited Away. Yes. Murray hates Spirited Away.
Okay, I have a weird thing about cartoons. There's nothing wrong with Spirited Away if you're not absolutely just... It's scary.
It's the way it's animated. It's like Alice in Wonderland on LSD.
It's real. If you like that kind of stuff, you're going to love Spirited Away. The culture of it is important. I definitely would love to do a Studio Ghibli like episode when I get closer to doing a Japanese episode.
Absolutely. Let's do a marathon.
You're obviously going to be on that. It's really important, and the music is beautiful, and he's won so many awards. Yeah. And I completely interrupted you. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to explain what that was, because you're talking about like Totoro and like is your grandfather locking you in the attic?
My uncle. I wanted to be locked in the attic, though. He's not an abuser. Don't worry. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just love a good rush.
Yes.
And 3-year-old me just wanted to be locked in an attic in the middle of rural Japan.
There's just much to cover this podcast. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait. What are you excited to learn about? Like, is there a certain country or culture?
I mean, I'm excited for all of it. I'm definitely excited for the ones that I really know nothing about, you know?
Me too. That's my favorites.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Meg earlier, I think the most challenging ones are the ones that are the countries everyone knows.
Yes.
The histories that you are just beaten over the head over. Yep. Let's talk about the people who are unsung heroes, unsung just stories. Like, so many lives have been on this earth that have not been talked about.
Yeah.
Like good and bad. There's so much to talk about. But again, at the end of each episode, I want to read out one of the stories that y'all have sent in. So thank you for sending them in at culturecultshow.com. So this one is from our friend. It's short and sweet, but it sounds like hell. It goes, while in Orlando, I decided to spend a day at Disney World. A few hours into the day, a heavy Florida storm hits and the park goes into lockdown. And this is also during COVID, so it was actually a lockdown. I'm sure they had to wear masks and stuff. And we are all forced to hunker down in the nearest shelter to me. I happen to be walking by the Country Bear Jamboree when the sirens start. We are not allowed to leave until the storm is over. I see the show 17 times in a row. I no longer fear death and look forward to treating him like an old friend when my time comes. I'm sorry. That fucking kills me.
What is the Country Bear Jamboree?
Okay, I think I know what he's talking about, but I think I'm making my own memory. I'm imagining it's like something from like 1950s, like the Peter Pan ride. Imagine being that, but like
the Duloc people in Shrek when they enter.
It's kind of like that. Imagine a bunch of like old little robotic things that are like, you know, and it's like 17 times. And Nick, I said his name. Nick is a very cartoonish person to me, so I feel like it's a perfect place for him to be, because these cartoons are yelling at him.
His soul is stuck in there.
His soul is stuck. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, what ride would you want me locked down in Disney?
Oh, okay. So I can only picture Disneyland in Anaheim.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Orlando. Sorry.
Oh, probably Pirates. It's because to me that ride is very calming. Maybe the Peter Pan one.
That was pretty.
It was really pretty.
And simple.
Yeah.
And I know I was like 5 feet above the ground, so I could just walk out.
Yeah. Because they're in a bedroom in England and it's midnight.
Yeah.
Probably that one.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in a Macy's display during Christmas. That's literally what I felt like. I felt like one of the puppies.
That is so true.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love those.
Okay. I'm going to choose the movie that's now banned. I grew up on Song of the South. Mm-hmm. Sorry if y'all have opinions on it. I did grow up on it and I love that movie.
Mm-hmm. Splash Mountain.
I think I'd go to Splash Mountain because I genuinely love the ride up to that, because it's all the characters I grew up with.
I don't remember the ride up to the drop.
You wouldn't remember it unless you watched the movie. It's not that important. It's cozy and there's little cricket sounds, and I would probably do that one.
Yeah.
But this sounds like hell. And it's comically ridiculous.
Nick, he's one of those people that thinks this life is a simulation. And so that would be like, well, here you go, bitch. Here's an actual simulation.
Also, like, is he alone? Like, are there other people in there? Are they like all silence? Like, is the tension building?
Right.
You know, so many questions. It's a short story, but there's so much going on.
Also, it's just rain, Nick. You can move. Does he not realize that? Well, it started pouring before when I was at Disneyland, which is weirder.
That is weird.
And you
that's California, which is
want.
Yeah.
You're not stuck, Nick.
What if he's the only one? He's like, when can I come out? They're like, bro, what? Like, you wouldn't have to be there the whole time.
All the confines are in your own mind.
Yeah. So this is the kind of stories that, like, I mean, they're just, I love that. It sounds awful.
Yeah.
And it's very unique.
It is very unique.
And now he will never go to Country Bear Jamboree or maybe Florida.
Florida.
He's banned. But yes. Send me your stuff, your travel emails to culturecultshow@gmail.com. I literally love this kind of stuff. I kind of phased this off of I'm going to shout My Favorite Murder. It's an amazing podcast. And I loved how they do this with homestyle stories about murders. And I was like, okay, let's not do murders, but let's do something fun like traveling. Mm-hmm. So send me your travel emails. Definitely check out the podcast playlist. And thank you, Meg.
Thanks for having me.
Coming
this
on.
was so much fun.
I know. And we're going to have lots of more Megwin and Magumis. Yeah. But yeah, check out our Instagram, Culture Cult Show, and see what country and story we're landing on next and what guests we're going to have next. And see y'all next time.
Bye. Bye. Smart listener.
Smart listener.